Welcome to the SmackDown review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture. Join my little dolly boys, Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to review everything that happened on SmackDown this week, whatever. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Oh! We're going to be down about AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to review this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. That 2-hour SmackDown, eh?
Hey.
You think it might go away for a while, but it'll come back and effectively cram a 3-hour SmackDown into it. I can't be the only one who got the feeling that this was a SmackDown that could have been 3 hours with everything they had on it, but they just went, we'll just do it in 2.
Yeah, this was densely packed, this one, which is not for the first time in the last few days. I find myself in good spirits. I got pissed on Saturday. But before getting pissed, I watched SmackDown, and I was really, really pleased with it. It's not a perfect show, and there was a lot of stuff.
That's Tuesday nights.
There's a lot of stuff at the end of the sentence, really. So some good, some bad. But I'll tell you this. I got so assured all over again about the potential state of the top of the card pending like a massive result of SummerSlam going the right way.
It's funny that's the state of both companies right now.
A bit, yeah.
Depending what happens at the big show.
I will be rooting for Cody Rhodes maybe harder than I ever did for him as champion. And I loved him as champion. But I will feel deeply, deeply connected to that match and the result of that match. Because this week, if nothing else, how I said coming out of Night of Champions, I was sort of like, hey, do you know what? This is the first time in a while that we've come out of a PLE and I'm higher on things than I'm not.
Yes.
There's actually more that I'm keen to see now play out. Whilst there was some stuff on this SmackDown that I'll criticise it when we get there, that I would classify as not up to standard. Overall,
yes,
the bigger picture continues to feel better. 2 hours helped. The sort of certain feeling you were squashing things in helped. Just the movement of the show within the first week back to 2.
It's the urgency, isn't it? It's
a little bit. The direction feels good and feels on again, and it feels like it's got people in positions you actually want to see. And yeah, broadly as a show, probably better than the sum of its parts, because I think there were a few things to pick at, as I'm wont to do. But broad thoughts were that I'm quite into this SummerSlam build.
And it's because Solo Sikoa's doing some great work yet again.
Yes.
He kicked off the show. They do the...
Top and tailed it, didn't Solo?
They do the signature. Solo arrives with his boys here to celebrate and immediately gets jumped by Jacob Fatu. He beats up JC Mateo, beats up Solo Sikoa. He gets dragged out of the... Mateo gets dragged out of the car and thrown into the door. Security has to come in and pull Jacob Fatu off. And the SmackDown GM, can't remember what his name is, he has to warn him, which we'll deal with again a little bit later on.
He was a busy boy, wasn't he, SmackDown GM? Should get around to remember his name because he was bloody everywhere in this one. Decisions, there were bloody loads of them. Immediately the start he went with Jacob, in the aftermath of his defeat.
Because he's all gas and no breaks. He wouldn't be like, well, I'll wait till the regularly scheduled. Yeah, good stuff. But we open the show proper with the 2025 King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes, coming out. Huge pap, obviously, and they recap Night of Champions. And then Cody gets a microphone with his crown in his hand, not on his head.
Of course.
Says, so, Pittsburgh, what do you guys want to talk about? Quick word on that, by the way. Cody's What Do You Want to Talk About podcast is, and I might be quite late to this party, sensational. I have watched 4 hours of it over the weekend.
Wow.
Probably.
That's nearly every episode, isn't it?
Pretty much. So I haven't watched the Brandy one yet, and I think there's a Miz one that's on different channels.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere started off on WWE, now it's got its own dedicated YouTube channel. I don't listen to the podcast, obviously, because that's ours. But the video version does work as well because I've just become enthralled. Like the Kevin Owens is the one that captured my heart.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant interview. Like not exactly hard-hitting questions. It is just, I mean, every episode that I've watched so far could be called Getting Pissed with Cody Rhodes.
What do you want to drink about? It's a
vodka. Wheatley vodka, yeah.
Wheatley vodka.
So him and KO's like, well, good job someone's driving me to the airport and I'm flying home right now. Priest just nails the cocktails in it. Mm-hmm. And him and Randy, it's really fun to just, and it's like quite emotional. It also helps with like the emotional, because Cody's quite an open and emotional guy. And then if you're around someone like that, you can go one of two ways. But if you've had a few drinks, you're right, you are. It's really good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. Unsurprising as well. Cody kind of...
He could come on this podcast if he wants.
He'd be very welcome. You would have a lot of shared memories.
Yeah.
Kind of came up in this business in the same way, did you not?
Yeah.
WCPW.
Remember your time in WCPW? I mean, I wasn't there at the time, but we can pretend.
Yeah.
When I chat to Drew McIntyre, he's like, some great memories. I was like, yep. I wasn't there for anything, but thanks.
I was going to say, it didn't stop Cody pretending after the stuff he was saying about the Bullet Club and the Damian Priest interview. So everyone can do it. We can all just say stuff.
The Kevin Owens one where he's like, I've got to call you out a little bit because you've been pretending like I invaded your dad's statue photo when you literally invited me to the picture. Like, yeah, good point. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I just lie. No, he's a cracking conversationalist. He was always good in that setting. He was vital, I guess, to AEW's early successes for the same reason. Like, what an orator.
Should we start wearing suits for this podcast?
That would be more admin that I would like to think about.
We've got big plans for this podcast for next year, by the way.
Do we?
We literally just had a conversation about it, didn't we? The let's say April edition of the SmackDown.
Oh, yes.
All very tentative plans.
Yes.
But if it comes off,
let's just say some podcasts might be water under the bridge. Yeah. That'd be funny. Now, we do. Let's let the viewers in. Viewers, and I say that for a reason. Listeners, if you're listening, check this one out on YouTube. Get a good look. Get a good look. This studio.
Crap they got me dressed in.
as wonderfully decked out by Nicholas and Phil when we first moved into this building. Well, going down the line here, later rather than sooner, maybe. It's all tied up in legal, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, it was meant to be now.
Yeah. Like, we've been advised that down the line, we may be moving house.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know much more than that yet, officially. But with that could come a nice, aesthetic upgrade, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So say goodbye to these.
Say goodbye to the wall falling off halfway through the pod.
By which I mean sticky bricks falling on our heads. But yeah, so that might not be the only visual change if we get our way next April-ish time in a certain city.
I've only got one question for you. You ready to double down?
Yes, why?
I've been ready since about, let me think about this, April 22nd, probably.
Yeah. Cody's good. His podcast's good. It's not as good as this one.
Yeah.
You already know that.
Fair. If you want any tips,
I'm going to
follow each other on Twitter, I believe.
Do you know what? I don't mind admitting when I'm a fan of other people's work. And it's I'm jumping a little bit ahead because you've yet to recap this. I think I want Cody Rhodes to be WWE champion. There, I said it.
Okay.
I'm willing to stick my neck out on that one. I think he'd make a hell of a title holder. Really. I think he's just got all the little pieces figured out. Really got what it takes.
It's funny. I was just on Twitter. Some people just put out real random clips, and there's the obvious ones and there's some random ones. There was a clip from I think main event, not Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
Where for some reason JBL's hosting a quiz featuring the Usos and Golden Stardust.
Oh right, yeah.
Doing some quiz, and they're trying to guess the word on the Tron through the partners. And I was like, one of those guys is the quarterback of the company now.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? I was showing, I've shared on this podcast especially, my youngest son's real devotion towards Cody Rhodes and that kind of driving his interest in wrestling. it might be fleeting, I think, but Cody Rhodes is.
I think Cody gets you.
He's this guy, and you have to have that like first hero wrestler that you just really fall in love with. And Cody's losing the title is now it's been effective in the sense like, when's he getting that belt back?
Yeah,
down? I was like, I don't know, son, but I want it just as much as you. But as a result, I've basically shown him I've used WrestleMania as a guide of showing him like the Rhodes family. So I was like, well, there's his brother, Goldust. And then there's his dad, Dusty Rhodes, and I showed him a clip from WrestleMania 6, and he comes out in the yellow and black polka dots. And Cody was Stardust. And he's like, Stardust, what's that? I was like, well, let me show you. What's that? I still can't explain, but let me show you. And he comes out at WrestleMania 32 in the polka dot version of his Stardust gear.
Yes.
I was like, so that's kind of a bit of a tribute to his dad and his brother. And he was like, when was this? WrestleMania 32? I was like, yeah. And then he just left WWE. He was like, what to do after that? I was like, don't matter. Came back. I said, look at this. And we stayed on Netflix. And I was like, and look at this. He came back in the same building he left, but look how he comes back. Oh. And then it's, I was like, he was like, and he's just got rid of all of his Stardust stuff now because this is who he actually is. And he was just like, he was wowed by like when you're a kid and it's like, like Earth started the day I was born.
Yes.
So then you get interested in something. It's like, this started the day I started watching. His mind was blown by like this idea that Cody could have this entire first career. I showed him the triple threat with Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase because Orton is obviously still kicking around. He's like me, he was looking at Ted DiBiase, he was like, yeah, spin on. And Cody's in those like orange, he looks a bit nude, like he's in those orange trunks. He's in like his trunks and his white boots. He's got dark hair. It was blood.
Yeah.
It's honestly like watching like a before they were famous thing, even though he's walking down at WrestleMania.
Have you shown him the one where they win the tag titles?
What, off the Shield?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but that's
a great moment.
Very Rhodes family. That's one of my...
And then after that, obviously, bag your son, probably.
Yeah.
Son, have I ever told you, your face disgusts me? Put a paper bag on it.
Sort yourself out, kid. You're either dashing or you're nothing. I'm joking. I love you both dearly. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, we're jumping ahead. It was fantastic here. I was so invested in all of it again, and it didn't need John Cena one bit.
Yeah.
So lose the title and go away.
Put the title on you. And then off to the races in August. Thank you very much. Yeah, he comes out. What do you want to talk about? And he points to his wristband and shouts out Cam in Club 66, who's battling leukemia, working at the Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. Lovely moment from the crowd for that as well. Talks about the crown, what it stands for. He left a piece of himself in Ohio fighting Jay and a piece in Saudi Arabia fighting his mentor, Randy Orton. It stands for where we've been, stands for where we're going. Past kings like Booker T, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Wade Barrett. Didn't mention the last one, but should have. Stands for where we're going. Main event of SummerSlam. Myself, the king, against the undisputed WWE champion, John Cena. And he's interrupted by Randy Orton, who comes out and says, look, for weeks, I told you that I'd do whatever it takes at King of the Ring. I wouldn't hesitate, but I did at Night of Champions. I had you dead to rights. I was going to rearrange your skull, but I didn't. And you pulled the trigger. And for that, pause, I respect you. I won't soon forget it. But I respect you. There's one thing that I ask of you. Actually, I want you to promise me, Cody. Promise you will not squander this opportunity. That you're going to go to SummerSlam and kick John Cena's ass. And then a huge surprise, if you've not been on Twitter. Drew McIntyre returns. First time since Saturday night's main event.
I thought it had been gone longer, if I'm honest. But that, like, it wasn't an unpleasant surprise.
No.
But it was a surprise in the sense, like, already?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he mocks Cody and Randy's beta male energy, calls himself the alpha, says that Orton lost the psychological battle due to Rhodes buttering him up for months and stabbing him in the back. And then he talks about Orton's back, which Cody repeatedly targeted. He says that Orton's lost his edge as the legend killer. The legend of Randy Orton's dead as far as he's concerned. And then he turns his attention to Super Cody. Says, I want you to win at SummerSlam, but only because I want to rip that title out of your hands. And I won't hesitate, unlike somebody, turns around into an RKO from Randy Orton to close out this segment.
I just really enjoyed the possibilities that were put on display here. And it isn't those kind of possibilities where Triple H, and I think there's one on this show if I remember, where a locker room moment is a tease when he kind of drops too many of them now. Mm-hmm. This was an obvious short and long-term direction playing out in front of you. Drew McIntyre in the short term with Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton in the long term with Cody Rhodes. Very nicely overlapped. I loved Randy Orton's, if it was written for him or if it was his choice, I love the choice of the word squander, because there's almost something passive-aggressive about that, isn't it? Like he lost against John Cena, so he could argue that he's kind of like showing understanding and empathy and knows that just even sometimes if it's in your hometown as it was for Randy Orton, things can just happen and seen as this like very difficult mountain to climb. Like nobody will know that better than Randy Orton and so on and so on.
And you're not going to get another shot here, might you?
And the way he said it, like the way he said it was almost, there was a tiny bit of inference of like, you screwed up the WrestleMania, didn't you? Like what you do that for? Screwing around. You weren't screwing around against me. So don't screw around against John Cena. And it led you like briefly down a path where in your head you could visualize Cody losing. And of all the things to piss Randy Orton off the most, it's that. It's not that Cody's beat him or that maybe Cody's lapped him, surpassed him, whatever you want to call it, or even that Randy has just kind of seen the way it went with Kevin Owens and thought, you know what, I need to snap too. It's the idea that he squandered the chance against John Cena. For Orton, it means just as much to get that belt off John Cena, because these two have become like these like-for-like guys and he couldn't get it done. It's the fact that Cody couldn't either. And that was the first point I was like, oh, Cena might retain here, because that really sets Cody and Randy off on this path together that might account for the second half of Cody's year before we get into like Royal Rumble season.
I hope not.
Me too. I'm really desperate for Cody to retain, but to regain the title.
Orton Cody again, but with
But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah,
and Drew McIntyre as well. Some of it was bollocks. He was like 20 years in the making. I was like, is it? But wrestlers just say stuff. I get that. You inflate the time. Like there are overlaps about having to leave WWE to find yourself and come back. So it's clean enough as long as you don't, investigate too deeply. And Drew McIntyre, welcome again. And they've been quite careful with, he confronts Cody quite a bit, but the match never materializes. Like I can think of a few times where he's like kind of called his shot with Cody for down the line, but then he's been sort of dragged off in another direction. So they've sort of, maybe it's just me, they've kind of elevated the status of that match.
Yeah.
Feels
it feels big.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it feels like one, again, Cody with the belt, especially. You kind of want to see these potential challengers line up for Cody pending him winning the title. But then what if he doesn't? What of these challengers then? So I was into all of this.
Following this, we go backstage and Charlotte Flair runs into the SmackDown GM. Some about a title opportunity. Maybe SmackDown GM finally came to his senses and picked her to face Tiffany Stratton at Evolution. I thought, please God, no. But no, Tiff is still allowed to choose her opponent. More on that in a bit. But he does have a title opportunity, a tag team #1 contenders one. It's going to be Charlotte and her partner versus Secret Service versus Michin and B-Fab. And whoever wins gets effectively the SmackDown slot in that 4-way tag title match at Evolution. And Charlotte's a bit like, partner? Of course, here is Alexa Bliss, who comes in and says, you're welcome. And she's like, I don't want to be friends, but we should be tag team partners. Charlotte's like, I'm Charlotte Flair. I don't share the same spotlight. And Alexa says, well, you haven't really been in that spotlight for a long time, have you? And look, do you want gold at Evolution or not? Charlotte's like, go on then. And but she tells Alexa to stay out of her way.
I mean, she wouldn't have been as surprised if she'd listened to the SmackDown preview, would she?
No.
She didn't know what she was doing. We covered this for her. This fine. I don't mind this Charlotte and Alexa thing. If anything, I think you're solving two problems here, is that you're beefing up the tag division whilst kind of like taking two singles wrestlers that floundering is not the word, but it just hasn't felt the time for either of them in like singles.
There's nowhere else to go, is there? The top of the card's occupied right now.
It's the usual thing as well. Like it is at least potentially a story for these two coming off the back end of this tag run, or they win the titles.
Yeah.
Or both. So I can't complain too much.
Yeah, either way, they either go into SummerSlam as the tag team champions, or they go into SummerSlam to fight each other. Both great matches. The
performances here were pretty poor. I don't think they're very... I don't know, because they're sort of... Are they baby faces or heels? Because the thing is, in the ring, you kind of supposed to see them as long tenured veterans and kind of respect them, and they've got this little bit of wily sort of... backstage, I hate them. So I don't quite know how I'm supposed to receive them because they come across like arseholes.
I think Alexa you meant to see as more of a babyface, obviously.
Like a bit of a sort of like cheeky, in on it, wink down the lens type thing where Charlotte Flair's this, like, oh, you stupid idiot, like standoffish.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, that Charlotte Flair's still trying to be a babyface. Who can possibly say?
How do I do this again?
The act is broadly good guy. I'm yet to see much goodness.
Also backstage, Drew McIntyre tells the SmackDown GM, can't remember what his name is, that he wants a match right now with Randy Orton, and he's told that Randy's gone home. So instead, let's have a match at Saturday night's main event. And there's a brief moment here between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu.
That was the thing I was thinking of, and I couldn't make my mind up on if it was something or nothing. Like it's not big. It's a good match to go to, but Drew McIntyre is a character that I would be wary of throwing into one big feud after another, lest you kind of lose his value for that Cody Rhodes match. Like he did a lot, I think, for Damian Priest, but it was littered with all this sort of like gossipy, I believe, in my opinion, stuff that Drew McIntyre himself fed to certain outlets about like how it was below him and stuff like that. And remember the work shooty thing about was it the Rumble?
Rumble, yeah.
There's always a bit of this kicking around Drew McIntyre, and I think part of that is because he wants to be at the tippy top. And I love Jacob Fatu, but if Drew McIntyre is working with Jacob, that feels like something for Jacob rather than Drew.
Yes.
Whereas Drew working for Cody is for them both.
Yes.
So I just, he's going to Randy Orton, presumably at some point going to Cody Rhodes. Be careful if you want to get trapped in a side quest for Jacob Fatu, because that's not going to be for Drew McIntyre's gain, I don't think.
But Jacob's there to see the SmackDown GM as well. SmackDown GM tells him, if you want to fight Solo's gang, you can't go around smashing cars. But if you can find yourself a tag team partner, tag match with Solo and JC Mateo a little bit later, and before he takes 2 steps, Jimmy Uso's right there, and Jacob asks him if he's ready to get in where he fits in. Yeet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The boys!
Done that.
Very excited to see that later.
All good.
Speaking of tag teams, though, this was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Alba Fire and Piper Niven and Meechin and B-Fab for that spot at Evolution. Bliss, Meechin, Niven start off, but before Alexa Bliss can do anything, Charlotte Flair does the old, get out, I'll take it from here. And kicks everyone's ass because she's Charlotte Flair, but Meechin takes her outside the ring. Niven flies through to take them out, as does Alba Fire with a big dive to the outside to take us to a break. When we come back, Niven's hitting a senton on Flair, but gets a 2 count. B-Fab comes in with a tag, takes down Flair and Niven with some nice kicks. Flair counts a neck breaker, though, and tries for the figure 8. B-Fab shoves Flair into a corner. Bliss gets the hot tag, comes in, runs wild, sets B-Fab up for Sister Abigail, and Meechin just kicks her head off her face, or a face off her head, or head off her body, whatever. Fire hits B-Fab with a Canadian Scottish Destroyer.
Scottish Destroyer, yeah.
Niven hits the Black Hole Slam. They try to hit a double team, but in comes Flair and Alexa Bliss. And Flair, who's the legal woman in this match, condescendingly taps Bliss on the head, flies in off the top. That is counted, though, as a tag. And when Charlotte Flair's enjoying herself kicking someone off the apron.
Chelsea Green, isn't it?
Yes, maybe.
Chelsea Green goes to, yeah.
And Alexa Bliss hits the Twisted Bliss and wins for her team, to which Charlotte Flair jumps into her arms, celebrates, but no, none of that. They are just both heading to Evolution 2.
Yeah. I
like this odd couple tag team.
Against my better judgment, I quite like this finish. The head pat was so patronising. But I did see the referee go, tag. I was like, that's quite cute. But I was behind the story because I thought that Charlotte must have seen that and then didn't. So it was quite like, oh, I know what's going on. And she doesn't. That was all right, that. I like, did you notice that the Secret Service, you're welcome, have incorporated the SmackDown salute into their, in formation, like after something goes well. In this case, it was a SmackDown rolls on, I think, right? That was a series of dives, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. It was fine. It was a little clunky in places, just a spot fest. But I'm just about with you on this, Charlotte and Alexa. I think every single week it's a tightrope for me because they are irritating.
And
They are.
one wrong move towards the doll, and you've lost me as well.
There's a lot of ways this could go wrong. The doll, I think it might be a Charlotte Flair thing. I think there's just something so unpredictable, but not in the good way, about her matches, promos, and existence.
Yeah.
That there is an element of it I like, but it's so like, she reminds me, like, and it's because it's where she thrived. She reminds me of old WWE.
Yeah.
Like, her, and who else is it? There's another wrestler, isn't it? John Cena. Like, the two of them, like, don't really fit in this competent, well-plotted world. They made sense when nothing made sense. You know? Like, Charlotte would get... the last time this happened, and he was so over, and the story was so over, nobody cared. But it was Roman Reigns, when, like, he would defend his title for the umpteenth time, and there'd been 58 run-ins. He's won by cheating, right? But then, like, he walks down the aisle and he holds the one up and everybody loves him. Even if they hate him, they love him. And Michael Cole's like, there he is. Like, until anyone can get near him, he's the best. But the match has just told me that he's kind of stealing it at this point. Like, Cody's the best. Like, but that was about the furthest you could go with that kind of character. Like, John Cena, and it used to happen with Charlotte Flair all the time. They just do stuff, but then the commentators, yep, they're the best one. That's it. You can't, it was cheating. She's an arsehole.
Yeah.
Nope, best says so. It's like when we do the bit and you're like, well, I think you'll find that they've won their last 3 matches, so they must be in good form, are they not? Like, that's not the form I was talking about, Wilbourn. Like, it's weird.
Thierry Henry there, expert control against Ireland to play the ball in to score that winner. He's handballed it.
Well,
best player in the world.
Won the game. Have you checked the final score? I think you'll find they won. So it's so like, yeah, there is something about...
Only ever works when it's your team, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It went off your striker's arse to go in. Well, if he wasn't in that position...
Got to be in it to win it. So yeah, I always get that with Charlotte Flair, and I think Alexa Bliss of the same era.
Yeah, I get that.
Brings that with her. But I too share your sort of lingering quiet enthusiasm for this. Better than them doing Nout, but I don't know if that bar's too little.
This is also one of those ones where I think the legacy of Triple H helps him somewhat, because people always complain. I don't really mind it, to be perfectly honest, but people do complain that he drags things out.
Yeah.
But I quite like that for this. I want them to be a tag team for a lot longer than I think some people anticipate they're going to be, because that uneasy tension's really good.
It's not been it's like there's been something every week as well.
Yeah.
Every single week they've pushed it forward. Like, that might come to a stop or a halt after Evolution, but it has, at least to that point, had a development each week.
Yeah, and this is the thing, is any other random selection of people going into that 4-way tag, you'd have gone, right, but if it's not the Bellas, then that's just people making up the numbers. Now, you're like,
yeah,
I could see the Judgment Day retaining, obviously, because there's the holding all the gold, what have you. Now you're like, right, but Charlotte Flair's in there, and she took the L at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And,
she might want hers. Yep.
Money in the Bank. Might be time.
Yeah. No, like, they're big stars. They're big stars.
Let's see whether she's a Flair weather friend to Alexa Bliss.
Hey. This is why, Cody, we love your podcast, but you're going to struggle to get out of the charts competing with something like that.
Yeah, this is... Anyway, we see from earlier on in the day, the SmackDown GM, who's earning his money, bollocking the SmackDown tag division for what happened with the Wyatt 6 Street Profits tag match that we didn't really talk about because we didn't have to.
No.
It went to a Debbie Deeks. And it sets up not only Andrade and Rey Fenix versus former NXT tag team champions, I should say, Axiom. Nathan Fraser. When I'm cleaning windows. Not only that match, but also 4 of the Wyatt 6 versus a member from each of the tag teams.
The
SmackDown GM, by the way, said they're roster members, and if they win tonight, they'll be back in contention. DIY tries to rally all the troops, and everyone's like, piss off, DIY.
That was okay. I don't know what's worse. I don't know. Like, on Raw, there's no booking. Yes. On SmackDown, there's bad booking. And I can't decide what I find more annoying. Because the Raw thing, like, when you tell us, and it's been so dispiriting to see the New Day's heel turn fizzle out, right? But not just the New Day's heel turn. When you, like, sitting down for the Raw preview and it's like, tag team action tonight when the so-and-so take on the whoever. I'm like, God, I don't want to watch that. It might be different now that Finn Balor and JD McDonald.
Such a nice surprise last week, wasn't it? Yeah.
But for the most part, for like the Viking raid, last 6 months, it's nothing personal, but like nothing happens. No. So you just a match, then a gap, then a match, then a gap, and that's it. Like, couldn't be further from the truth on SmackDown. Matches all the frigging time.
Yeah, like, good matches as well.
Often very good. Like, they're constantly bloody wrestling each other. But don't ask me to keep track of who hates who, why they hate who, and if any of it matters, because let me tell you, it does not. And then this latest twist of like, but the Wyatts are kind of in the mix again now. So we've given them a straight-up tag. It was a total botch fest, City Jones mess, but they're the best ones. What? Like that? And how we're going to
they're spooky.
They're spooky. And they're a perfect unified force as a group of 4. So what we're going to do is just split all of the U's up, you stinking losers. Now you've got to work with people that you hate. Like, let me consult my It's Always Sunny board to remember who hates who. Well, the fundamental thing is you all hate each other, so you're definitely not going to work out against these 4 people that are, like, locked together in celebration of somebody's life. It's a pretty tight bond we've established between the old Wyatt skis. How did he expect this to go?
It feels like they've been told, don't worry, next week the draft's going to happen, so we have to keep all the tag teams, on the boil.
Yeah.
Another week, is it? We just keep doing what you're doing.
Idiots club. Like, and then it's like, well, who are the one? And I got mixed feelings on this match. But like, well, if you're in this tag team division, you're like, we're kind of lost in this like tag title soup here. And then like, luckily to your buttons, Fraxing were like, not us. Like, we're the ones amassing a bit of a winning streak here. Well, the thing about that is, it's very, very, very badly booked in spite of typically a good match every week.
This match did sort of read as if we went, let's book an 8-man tag on the SmackDown preview, but we only got a couple of minutes because we want to talk about what we have for dinner or something.
Yeah.
So we'll just, whoever the first 4 people, but they can't be tag team partners, are in it. So it's like, Howdy, Gacy, Rowan, Loomis for the Wyatt Six, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, right, we'll go back and forth. Berto, Johnny Gargano, Chris Sabin. I'll go Montez Ford from the tag champs. All right.
Yeah.
So this match happens.
Just any 4 wrestlers out of a hat, right? Any 4 you want of any company ever, but like they've never met. Let's say, and it's like it's a bit of it's kind of a randomized super team. They don't know each other. There's no connection. There's no chemistry. But I mean, individually, interesting. Against the Bloodline, like, who are you going with? Like, it's just Roman, the Usos, Sami Zayn versus 4 guys. At what point did this like work for the sort of the disadvantaged team who couldn't quite bloody keep it together?
And how does this establish? Like as the SmackDown GM said, like if they win that match, they're in contention. How does this establish? Is there going to be an 8-man tag title coming along soon, or what? Because this isn't a tag, is it? Then it's not going to be like, well, if that happens again, then Humberto and Johnny Gargano's team is in pretty big trouble. Well, no, because isn't Humberto one half of like the AAA tag champs or something?
Aye. I know Liverpool won the league, but Man City beat the Soccer Aid reserves in a closed door match, so we should probably give them the title, if anything.
What is it we were looking at? The Baller League, which is we're too old for, but we're kind of into it because it's like, football's a bit boring, isn't it? Whoa, why don't we bring the randomizer? Whoa, you got to play with a beach ball?
I did like that. It's taking that.
Every now and again, just John Arisa turns up and is like, remember when he was mint? He still is.
Do you know what I need? Is as part of that idea about how you like they're just doing stupid stuff, but like why the hell not? On FIFA 95, shout out to my old asses. Like there was a page, it was on the Mega Drive. You just pressed like A, and it was like cheats page, and everybody got a different selection of cheats.
Was FIFA 95 the one where on the Nintendo? I didn't have a Nintendo, but my mate Mike did. I'm seeing this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I can't wait to tell the same 10 stories all over again.
Quite a lot of that this weekend.
How's Mike? How's his family? How's his job? I had no idea. You spent 4 days with him. Yeah, no, we told the story we told before
School
about
stuff,
when we were
innit?
in year 11 and we locked someone in a cupboard or something. That happened. But it's funny. He's fine now. But we had a drink about it later. It's fine. What was I talking about?
I don't know. I was thinking about like
FIFA 95.
Like old Alistair I went to school with. We tried to a roundabout and kept spinning and he just kept going, "What's the point? What's the point?" And we say that every time.
He had a Nintendo. Yeah. So go around his. Was FIFA 95 the one, ABC obviously, where it had, if you scored, it was like horn, drums, goal.
Yeah. So there was one of the options on the cheats page that you could switch on. But like, as fun as it was like irritatingly irrational. So like you could play with it, but you basically knew this was going to go crazy ball. You familiar with crazy ball?
I can't remember that.
It absolutely took the piss. I have no idea how they coded it because this ball was, let me tell you, crazy. Like you could just goal kick, you could like kick a goal kick, and then it would go like ooh, and then go in your own top corner.
I like that. I'll play this again.
I'm into it, but that's too crazy. What I'm suggesting is the Ballers League should have like shoot crazy ball where they put like a drone inside the ball, and
that cost England the World Cup.
Yeah,
we're doing 1-0. We've got a pretty solid defence here. Damn the crazy ball! Oh, for God's sake, we've conceded twice in injury time.
But you could score 3 times in injury time.
Yeah.
That's the crazy ball does not pick a side. Crazy ball is non-partisan. But imagine putting a drone in the ball and then somebody in a cupboard, like just your friend locked in a cupboard, controls the ball, and it just goes everywhere.
Sorry, I'm looking up because I remember one of my first vivid memories of like game, because I remember that, but it was the France '98 Road to World Cup.
What a game!
I remember FIFA. Which was the one with Dennis Bergkamp on the cover? Was that 99?
That was 99.
Yeah.
Road to World Cup had Beckham on the cover.
What's the name of the mascot? I want to know what his name is.
Cock.
Footix. A cockerel, one of the national symbols of France.
I wasn't being vulgar.
So, yeah.
However, I will be vulgar about this. Do you remember on Road to World Cup where there would be
for the 2019 Women's World Cup, we got a young female chicken named Etty, the daughter of Footix.
Good law. No, there was on FIFA Road to World Cup 98, when you were playing a game in like a different country, it would like the globe would spin around and you would see that country.
Amazing. Sorry.
And Holland had a wanking statue. Do you remember that? It was like a statue that went.
Do you remember
I'm wanking for audio. Not shoot wanking. I'm mimicking a wank.
So we go through the World Cup mascots. Willie, obviously World Cup Willie. We all remember that from '66.
Yeah.
74 West Germany Tip and Tap mascots. We get to like Footix '98. My favourite 1994 United States striker and dog wearing a soccer uniform.
Striker. Actually, wait a minute. You keep.
I like that.
Name the mascot.
Footix has an open invitation alongside Cody Rhodes for this podcast because I like that boy. He was a good lad. I hope he's all right. He's doing well. He must be pretty old now.
Who's the mascot for the next world? Has it got the next world?
Hasn't got the next one yet, actually.
Because is that not America, Canada, and Mexico?
Yes.
Because this is becoming a thing now, isn't it? Where like they're basically trying to have the tournaments split out over several countries all at once.
Yes.
It's a money-making thing ultimately, but it creates like tourism for the various nations. And the World Cup after America. Go on.
Sorry. I don't know if this is legitimate or what, but I've just found a picture of the... Right. I don't think this is legitimate.
Okay.
Right, because it's the 2026 FIFA World Cup. United.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of the... And they're like... We need a mascot for each country, and this is allegedly leaked according to WorldSoccerTalk.com. Okay. The mascot has been leaked for the mascots. I don't think this is legitimate because it has 3 mascots for each of the countries. You got Uncle Sam kicking a football.
He wants you
to score goals.
Got
a moose
for Canada. Yeah.
And Mexico. For Mexico. Any ideas? I got an idea. What's that? Cactus and a sombrero. You can't do that, can you really? It's not...
No. Could be. But the United thing...
The cactus is certainly the most outlandish of the 3 shown above.
Why not like a luchador?
Yes.
Kicking a ball or something.
Lucha Score.
Lucha Score! That's what the mascot should be. Lucha Score. With Uncle Slam it in the top corner.
Yeah.
And...
Canada.
Come
on, we got this.
There's got to be, like, moose.
You've been to Canada,
I've been to Canada. Poutine, Great White North, Vancouver. Cover? No, it's no good.
Goal, is there anything in goal?
Goal. Calgary.
Good.
Alberta, Canada. Is that anything? The United theme, by the way, they've already released it is mascots based on multiple hosts. So the one for the next World Cup they've actually already released because it's like different cuisines and stuff of the nation. So they're going with that.
It's a fish and a chicken smoking a cigarette.
So be a great one. What was the name of the Italian arty one? Because I love that guy. Ciao. I loved it. He had the Italian flag at arms and legs.
Was our Olympic logo like Lisa Simpson giving a blowy or something? Was that not the? I remember that.
Hang on.
It's a real bad logo that we had.
Mixed up with like that.
Yeah, there you go.
How is that Lisa Simpson? Yeah, I remember the logo. The mascots were called like. I used to know this. They had like one eye and stupid alien features.
Oh yeah,
Wendlock and Mandeville.
Correct.
I think they were called. Yeah,
after Liam Mandeville, the Chesterfield player.
That's right. And the somebody pranked the BBC because this logo was very controversial. Do you recall this? Do you know where I'm going with this story?
Crap.
Yeah. Well, can I turn this laptop around or not?
Yeah,
We're gonna. I'm
looking away.
Might have to look away. BBC.
We will get back to this 8-man, but
Olympic logo prank.
Oh, was it? Did it spell something, or did it
not
portray
quite.
something rude?
Portrayed something rude. It got broadcast on the BBC using inspiration from
It looks like someone's pulling their.
Take inspiration from the very famous goat seat meme. If you've never Googled that, I mean, don't. But that got on the BBC. It was like, we've had some great submissions here from like, and it was like Peter, who's 8 or something.
I do remember when the dreadful 2012 Olympics were shoot class. Yeah. By the way, I went to a bit of them.
Me too.
Yeah. And I remember being in Hyde Park, absolutely pissed.
Yeah. Watching
Nicola Adams just spark people out for fun, and watching those BMX racers. That didn't feel legal that I was watching stuff like that.
We got like, me and my brother got asked to like, kind of, the Ross Geller, like, we got too pissed during the volleyball.
Did you go?
Like, yeah. Went to the saw volleyball, handball, and I saw the Olympic football at Wembley. It was the first time I went to
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Wembley. The standard was abysmal, but it was just nice to go to Wembley for the first time.
Oh, we can do a United Kingdom team.
Yeah. I did like the kit, though.
The kit
was
the
blue and light blue flag, yeah. Speaking of blue brands, SmackDown.
Yeah, back to that. Where were we? Oh, yeah. Wyatt 6 versus...
Stupid match.
Tag gang.
Stupid ass match.
We did get the nice bit with Gargano trying to... Remember me? Yeah. Come on, mate. You're all right, you are.
And then he got scared. Like, he had the first Dexter Lumis recognition, and then he got scared. Dropped off the apron, which I do like. I like it when people drop off the apron.
What else happened in here?
Redbeard was good.
Yeah, Rowan's class. Nice to see him doing some good stuff in there. Ford gets thrown into a super kick by Dexter Lumis by Rowan. Lumis and Gacy did that nice spot that they do where they powerbomb the other one onto the opponent. Chris Sabin gets his ass handed to him. Fights back, though, against Rowan. Gets a bit of space. Goes to tagging Gargano, who, drops off the apron. And Iron Claw slam from Rowan, which did look great on Sabin, gives the Wyatt 6 the win and boost their chances in the tag division or whatever.
Yeah, the match in which the massively, massively disadvantaged quartet were unsuccessful against a stable that are stable went the way you would have predicted, and some of the work wasn't very good. I also think the Wyatts continue to run into the problem of, now that the act has been normalised, I'm sorry to the people that like love this, and like I never want it to come across as like disrespectful to like the Bray Wyatt legacy, but already, is it just me, or is the Uncle Howdy stuff starting to feel a little bit too stupid for its own good? Like, this was the upside down scared. Like, it's just, it's a bit trivial in it at this point. Like, they might have something as a 4-man. I quite like Gacy as well. I still think there's an upside to Joe Gacy, but I don't know how anybody could have seen this going any other way than the way it went. Bad booking.
We got a promo from Julia, obviously the new women's US champion. I know what this title means. One by one, opponents will come to me. They'll all fall. I didn't get this by luck. I got this with my own power. Blue flames don't flicker. They burn everything down. I'll take this title when no one is dared to go. No mercy, no doubt, no fear. With fire, with fury, my way. Whoever is next, step closer. You're about to feel the heat of the beautiful madness. She really feels big time, doesn't she?
Yeah, into this.
Then it was time for Tibbetts to come out. You haven't got the time, have you?
It's dividend.
Thank you. She asks Pittsburgh as much, and she talks about finally getting revenge and defeating Nia Jax in that last woman standing match, and now setting her sights on SummerSlam, where obviously Queen of the Ring Jade Cargill awaits. But she wants to defend her title at Evolution, and just like Io Sky she gets to choose her opponent. Before she can announce that, though, out comes Jade Cargill, who says, look, respect for beating Nia, but while you were barely standing, I was being crowned the next Queen of the Ring against one of the best, Asuka. Now you've got a choice to make. Choose wrong, and you won't even be at SummerSlam. But I'll be honest, it doesn't matter who I face, I'm leaving with the title anyway. And Tiffany says, James, I'm happy to hear. I have some surprise for everybody. And we hear the second best coquettish laugh that there is in wrestling. Well, in life, actually.
Okay.
Laughing cow number 1.
Right, got you.
Trish Stratus number 2. She comes down to the ring.
Well, look, I think the lines are still open, as Kids TV used to say. They never used to say this, what I'm about to say, for animated, non-human characters that you have felt sexual desires for in your time. We did this, got quite a lot of engagement a few weeks ago. And like they're still trickling in. And when it came to the Laughing Cow with Wilbourn, it still trickles out.
Yeah, that and the Cadbury Bunny.
Yeah,
caramel.
Those are your 2 favourites.
Naughty.
I hate him. Are you supposed to in any way like fancy Paddington?
I don't think so.
Is he considered a bit of a hottie with the body or what?
Maybe.
I don't know. Like I hate him. I
really enjoy him, but I enjoy him at a distance of like. I mean, he's in my house right now.
Yeah.
Eric loves him, and he's got a cuddly toy and what have you. If he turned up on my doorstep, I'd sling your rock, mate.
God, he looks like such hard work, doesn't he? Like, he creates so many situations. You, as a dad now, sometimes like getting out of the house is not as easy as you would like. We've just left the house now. This is happening. Paddington gives you one of them like every hour, doesn't he? Like,
it's just a bit where it's like he was round.
I don't like marmalade either particularly, and I find that getting everywhere.
Yeah,
bloody marmalade on the wall. How's it on the wall?
He's round like. You and I are both men who enjoy this sounds weird, enjoy our alone time. And by that I mean just
living in the nothing.
Yeah.
No tasks, no hassle.
Mr. Curry, misunderstood member of the neighborhood, just wanted a bit of, he's been a bit tight with the taxi driver, but he's gone shopping.
Right.
He's paying the taxi driver. He's got his bags of shopping. Paddington comes along, fair enough, says, do you want a hand with this? And Mr. Curry fairly obviously says, absolutely not, leave me alone, I hate you, Bear. Paddington's like, I'm just being neighbourly, I'll take the stuffing for you. Wrecks his kitchen. Absolutely trashes the place. It's bad enough that he like drops it a bit, so like your beans will be like a bit smashed and what have you. But like it's fine. Then he steps on the
smashing your beans
ketchup all over.
No!
Right? Then he like tries to clean that, but he smears it. Then the cuckoo clock bloody goes off. He panics, jumps, grabs one of the doors of the cupboard. That comes off, right? Curry's in. He's like, get out outside. Puts up all these signs. Piss off, Paddington. Right? And then for some reason, I missed a bit of this. And Eric didn't fill me in when I came back from the little whatever.
Get the story, Eric.
He's back in the house. Right? Terrifying the poor old man, by the way. He thinks there's like a ghost or something in there.
Yeah.
Because Paddington's like, I'm going to be a good name whether he wants to be or not. Right? And he's like sneaking about, but like he's got a bit of a squeaky floorboard, and he's like, fix that with a bit of oil. Pours oil everywhere. But I can't remember why, but he does one good thing, and Mr. Curry's like, basically, Paddington, I almost pressed the wrong button there. Paddington.
Hey. You all right?
And I'm like, I don't think that's not a fair assessment for what he's done. Like, it's a bit where he dug up his garden, right? And he's like, I guess I'm in Peru. And he's like, of course you're not in Peru, you knobhead, right? But he's found one of Mr. Curry's gnomes that he thought he'd lost.
Yeah.
And that was like fair enough for everything that's gone before. And I'm like, I don't think that's a fair exchange.
He's got like that Mr. Bean quality, hasn't he, Paddington? It's just like a lot.
Imagine living on that road, Mr. Bean, Paddington.
I called my mate Mr. Bean, and Mr. Bean looking ass this weekend. He went to pay. Shout out, Kev. It was a brilliant weekend, but he went to pay for his parking. Right, and he tried to get some like his money or a card out of his pocket, and he had like he didn't have a wallet because his wallet's knackered or whatever. So he just pulled and like loads of stuff spilled everywhere over the floor. So like, there's no queue forming at this point, but I'm watching this. So all the stuff's gone over the floor. So he pays for his parking. Then he goes to pick his things up. When he picks his things up, he splits his trousers. So it's like, and he looked at me like, get ready to note this. He looked at me dead in the eyes as the split happened, and I didn't hear the split, but the eyes were telling me, you've either split your trousers or your pants. Like it was definitely one or the other. So like but he paid for parking, so we had to leave the car park to then park in a second car park that was also pay and display because he needed to go to a nearby Matalan to have replacement jeans for the weekend. And I thought, like, when's this day gonna get started? Like, we should have been in the pub by now.
Yeah.
Torn his trousers. It's a great time.
So Trish Stratus comes out to the ring. And Tiff says, Trish, I've had you here today because we teamed together in Elimination Chamber. I thought to myself, where would Evolution be without some stratisfaction? So I'd like to offer you the opportunity to face me for the WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill, who's a bit, sort of third wheel at this point, it's like, yeah, it don't matter if it's you or a Legend of SummerSlam, I don't care. And I'm like, kind of this two-way conversation, so kind of see your way out of it, Jade, sorry.
See you at SummerSlam, yeah?
And Trish's like, wow, I didn't expect that. Thanks, Tev. It talks about Evolution holding a special place in her heart, representing everything that they fought for back in the day. Even fighting for just like a singles women's match on the card. Now look, it's an entire card of incredibly talented women. I've always said careers are made of moments, and, it was really nice. You give me the moment to wrestle live in front of my kids, but they've never seen me as a champion. So how about 8-time champion Trish Stratus? And Tiff was like, look, fair enough, but I'm just going to make one thing clear. Once we get in there, it's not going to be easy. It's not the Attitude Era anymore. I want that vibe, says Trish. I want the fight. I've been known to evolve. And Tiff's like, good. Well, whether it's either you, Trish Stratus at Evolution, or you, Jake Cargill at SummerSlam, you're going to both realize that the universe runs on Tiffy time.
This was all fine, I would say. Not that creative, not that interesting.
They're not trying to present either of them as heels, though.
No. Trish, a nightmare for Tiffany Stratton, the way things are looking on this show already, to have her be hated anymore. Not hated, sorry. To become this figure of hate, potentially, if she's dealing with Naomi, let's say.
Yes.
So Trish Stratus, a good opponent in that regard. Tiffany Stratton looked affable and accommodating and whatever without being condescending. Funny how she's mastered that before Charlotte Flair. And yeah, why not? Why not? Feels a lot more exhibition-y than some of the other matches on the show, but that I think will actually help. I think there's more of a sense of range to this one than something like Rhea and Io, for example. It feels like a pretty big competitive deal.
Yeah. Speaking of Evolution, we'll do this in the wrong order, but subsequent to this, Trish runs into Jay backstage, and she's like, you again. But she says, I might see you at SummerSlam. She's like, looking forward to that. Bye. And Jay just gets nailed from behind by Naomi, who's also got a personalized Money in the Bank briefcase, which looks really good. Yep. And she says, I guess you should have proceeded with caution.
Did you get it? It's everywhere.
SmackDown GM rocks up and is like, everything all right, Jake? I'm going to kill her. And they've got a street fight, I think, at Evolution now booked.
That's interesting, isn't it? Like, could they do the old Jericho thing here, where this was Unforgiven 2008? I think I talked about this just last week, didn't I? Where on the very same night she loses what appears to be the end of the feud, she actually ends up as world champion.
Yeah.
So she could lose.
Didn't Edge do that in New Year's Revolution as well?
He got himself intentionally disqualified against Ric Flair just through the match.
I remember that because I was really into it at the time, and I was like, yes, Edge has lost. And I was just reading the results because I didn't have any money. Yeah. He's lost. You mean he's world champion? That's not fair.
That's the one thing we didn't want to happen. Yeah. Like Naomi could lose to Jade. Jade could say, great, done with you. Looking forward to SummerSlam. You again?
Yeah.
Because like Naomi cashes in on it. She's all broken and bruised, but Tiffany and Trish have had this quality match.
I don't agree with the often like, it's Money in the Bank can always lose. No, but Naomi could lose this.
She could lose it. But I would have a win it when she wins, and you go back to SummerSlam and you do it one more time. And the idea will be that like Jade is telling her, what makes you think you can beat me at SummerSlam? I've beaten you every time we've wrestled. Yeah. Doesn't matter the size of the stage, doesn't matter the terms of anything. I am better than you. And Naomi's first title defense is, oh God, I've got to prove myself against this one woman I cannot beat.
Yeah, all depends on what the plan is, I think, for Seth. Because as much as I think it would be actually kind of
Well,
fun.
you want Seth Rollins to cash in at Evolution?
But I think it could be quite fun to have both Seth and Naomi cash in at SummerSlam on like different nights or the same night. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you sense that if they are doing the Seth cash in the Cody match or Gunther Cena, potentially, Gunther Punk, they're going to go, Naomi's cash in needs to happen before that. We both have said they ain't making it to like
No, probably not.
October with either of these briefcases, but we'll see. Time for your new United States champion, Solo Sikoa.
And God bless the United States.
He's doing this. This is one of his backstage videos. He's just, he's in his element. Oh, hello there. Happy birthday, America, from your new United States champion, huh?
That's good stuff.
Hope you got your fireworks ready. We're going to celebrate, he says. Oh, and by the way, please welcome the newest member of my family, Tala Tonga. What you're looking at right now, it's nothing like a bloodline. I'm there with my notes. Okay, not bloodline anymore. This new group is way stronger and more dangerous than ever. Sure about that?
Check your work in there, Solo.
And boys, if Jacob wants to get involved in our business tonight, I like the fact that they've just had their asses beaten in their car park and they've gone, go to the room so we can film this. If anyone wants to get involved, you two stay back. Me and JC will take care of it. These are my MFTs, my family tree, and now my family is complete.
Well, we said WWE needed a new
Tamatonga, it's not complete, is it? Tamatonga's not there.
And wasn't he the original MFT?
Yeah.
They just dropped that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Uh,
Tama.
MFTs, fine. We've said WWE needed a new tree, and I guess this wasn't what we expected.
Got
but
loads of trees now.
Apparently so. It's funny. Good.
I'm just so happy for him.
I like this act. A lot.
I'm just so, because he was just like, I'm a badass, actually. There's about 20 people ahead of you in that ranking, mate. This, though.
Bit of levity, bit of fun.
And then it was time for the former NXT Tag Team Champions, Axiom. Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Versus team, of course, of Andrade and Rey Fenix, who we didn't even talk about last week.
No.
But they're class, apparently.
Probably should have in hindsight, but yeah.
What do we start with? We started with Andrade and Fraser, then Axiom and Phoenix come in. Phoenix lands on his feet after an attempt to DDT from Axiom. They all come in. Andrade gets sent to the outside, as does Phoenix, actually, and Fraser and Axiom both hit dives to take us to a break. When we come back, Phoenix fights free of an Axiom hold, flipping DDT. It's a hot tag to Andrade, who does a bit of the old three amigos suplexes. Phoenix hits a frog splash, heads up top, gets cut off by Fraser. They fight. Fraser hits a superplex and a super kick. Andrade breaks up the cover, who shoves Fraser into the pin. Phoenix brilliantly dodges Fraser's Phoenix splash. Andrade comes in, hits a nice Meteora. Andrade has Fraser set up for a big high-risk maneuver, hits the double moonsault that he does. Axiom breaks it up just in time, takes Phoenix out on the apron. Fraxium hit that Spanish Fly Phoenix Splash combo, but Rey Phoenix at the right at the last second leaps onto Fraser and hits a code breaker on Axiom. Rey's class. Phoenix hits an Adios Amigo kick on Axiom. Andrade hits Fraser with a vicious elbow.
Brutal.
Phoenix jumps over Fraser, takes out Axiom at ringside, and Andrade hits the message on Fraser for the 1, 2, 3.
I got real mixed feelings on this. A little bit of this was kind of one of those, and I would typically say this about a Dynamite match. So maybe that's a compliment because the in-ring standard just skew a little higher in AEW. I did feel like this was sort of grabbing for my attention rather than simply earning it. Like, it was so strange. Some of it was worked at 100 miles an hour because it's the only speed Nathan Fraser knows.
Yes.
But Rey Fenix doesn't mind that kind of gear as well. And actually, to be absolutely fair to the other two, like, I mean, you could tell by Andrade, he was sweating buckets out there, wasn't he? He was trying to keep pace. And, like, Axiom's no slouch. So they were working a lot of it at this, like, frantic pace. And I thought, that's going to draw me in. But then at the same time, as a result, some of the stuff felt a little bit too constructed. You know, when you could kind of see them piecing together. There was that, it's a Young Bucks thing that I think, I'm assuming the Young Bucks came up with it, but I feel like it's the first time I saw it in a Young Bucks thing, but you see it in a lot of these matches now that run at this pace, where it's not so much a cover breakup as it is bodies being pushed into the stack.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to that felt like watching one of my kids when they were little building with Lego. It's like, the house is going to be built, but you're going to take fucking time putting that one block on top of the other block. And there's just quite a few spots that came together like that, like a slowly assembled Lego house rather than like a wrestler making a decision in the moment.
Yes.
And it took me out of it a little bit, but I think it was this like weird quest to have this great match. And I get it as well, because Fraxian were losing for the first time, so probably didn't exactly want to go out looking weak.
Mm-hmm.
And Andrade, amazing as this is to say for Rey Fenix, but was it just me, or was there a sense with this Andrade Rey Fenix team where they both thought it was the last roll of the dice?
I think
there was
so,
a
yeah.
feeling of like, we best make this fucking work. Like for very different,
They're a good team, yeah,
so far, but they were working as if to say, well, yeah, I guess we're the Lucha friends now, because it doesn't look good for us if not, and they're going to put us over here. So let's like just go and see what clicks. And it did click, but maybe this is good. Maybe because there's for the room for them to grow and develop a little bit and become more of a team. There are problematic aspects to them being put together as a team. Triple H leans on these things, this kind of like, you two, like, so that it's not by any means a perfect solution to two singles wrestler problems. But when this was good, this was very good, but I don't think it was great.
I had fun with it. It was a pleasant surprise, this. But yeah, I was watching it going, what are we doing here in this tag division? But
because you need to stick them in the pile now as well. It's like, don't we need now?
Maybe they could be the deal breaker against the White Six.
I was going to say next week, what does he run like sort of, I don't know, like I'm going to put Axiom with Rey Fenix and Tommaso Ciampa, and you can take, I don't know, like any three members of the Nation of Domination. Like the Rock comes back for it. Yeah, I don't know.
Damian Priest runs into Aleister Black backstage. Priest tells Black he's got a match with Truth next week. And Black feels that Priest may be setting Truth up. Talks about Priest being a good guy. And Priest's like, who told you I was a good guy? And who told Black that Truth was going to be a victim to violence?
I mean, fine. But is this, you might have a different opinion than me on this, or you might completely agree. Was this one of those situations where the only people that can care with passion about any of this are the mega fans of Damian Priest, R-Truth, and Aleister Black?
Yeah.
I didn't really care about any of this.
I was in a good mood with Damian Priest after watching the Cody interview, so I was backing him here.
I like Damian Priest the most here. But watching this with a critical eye, it was hard to feel like Damian Priest, like hard to feel that he hasn't fallen a bit. Hard to feel like Aleister Black probably needs this win more, but can he, like, what does that do for Priest when that's over? And I hate to say I told you so genuinely about this one, but like I told you so in the moment, like the stubbornness from Triple H around the booking of this R-Truth thing and him not being happy.
Mascot again, isn't he?
To 100%. Like, and you could sense it. You could honestly sense it that like, that wasn't my plan. I got my plans, Nick. What are you doing re-signing him?
There was a report, actually, yeah, we did on the news the other day that they basically had loads of Travis Scott merch made for Money in the Bank.
Did they?
And then they had to just change it all because they're like, oh,
we're doing this now.
do this now.
Yeah. So I like this feels.
Thanks, R-Truth. He really saved her ass with that one.
I might get us to SummerSlam, I suppose, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Played Fiend the other day on Friday, like so loud through my headphones, just so like Murray could hear it while I was playing it as well. I just think it's nice to share it in it.
Yeah.
Happy memories.
Isn't our Old Boy's album's out soon, isn't
Might
it?
be out soon with the song on
What's
it.
his name? Alex Warren?
Yeah. That's the WrestleMania 42
We've been watching the
trailer.
The 30-second trailer just for...
I had a dream. I had a vision. Seth Rollins stable.
Yeah.
Cody, it's the dream. We could start putting wrestlers together for this.
Something about
I
pissing or
bought
something.
my rod and went fishing. I had a dream. I had a vision. Have you seen my friend Mr. Jism? It's another football mascot.
Alex Warren album.
You can't stop this. Is that how it goes?
You'll be all right, kid. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Ooh. Is it out? Wilbourn's been so excited for it to drop on Spotify because he's been putting up with a... Don't play it.
I'm not going to play. I'm just going to see it. It's the wrong album.
It's not yet.
Son of a gun. You'll be all right, kid. I thought it was that one.
That's not it. Can't wait to find out this guy's like terrible or something.
Oh, have I got this? Got next album. I don't know what's happening here now. Alex, just tell us your album, mate. Studio albums. Here we go.
No, yeah. Be late July. We got time. WrestleMania's in April.
Yeah, but I want to listen to it now. I'm so used. It's so weird, isn't it? Because it's like, do you want to watch this film? It's out right now. You can watch it anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Do you want to listen to this music? It's kind of nice.
There's a 3-minute song that you're anticipating the release of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had to listen to like AI versions, haven't we?
Yeah. Nicely sort of polished, tightened up live versions. Like the Oasis gig that's done the rounds already online. People have they said they weren't going to stream it. So people have just collated the best phone footage and best audio and made one perfect YouTube video.
2 discs, apparently. Is it?
Gallagher's 2 dicks.
Sad now. Read something I shouldn't have read. Right.
I don't want to know.
I'll say it later.
I know what you're doing. You're very good. You do this thing. You understand the value of Christmas Eve and the delaying of the gratification because the anticipation is often better than the actual delivery of the moment.
Yeah.
And you were just trying to build up as long as possible before you review Collision because you were so bloody excited about getting to that show that you just want to live in the anticipation as long as possible.
FTR Outrunners was really, really good.
I have heard you say that and actually mean it. I was knocked off my chair this morning.
I had to work for this and you didn't. That was the next line. I had a dream, I had a vision. July 18th.
Oh, it's not far away.
So it's just over by my calculations.
9 days.
Go.
I don't love his confrontational attitude. How does he know? You don't just I'd sent a lot of emails to Luxor, Alex. And I had a dream and a vision. And then it was infinitely surpassed by everything that took place in it.
I learned to swim from all your burned bridges. Should learn from
a swimming teacher.
Idiot.
So he's walking across the bridge. Oh, God, help, the bridge is on fire. Falls into the water. Well,
so what he needs, water wings.
Yes. I like that you call them water wings because that feels like an intrinsically Midlands thing. My folks call them water wings. And then when I moved to
they call them
the north when I was younger, what's it, armbands?
Oh, no, I'd probably call it armbands as well.
Water wings sounds flashy, doesn't it? Armbands is what most wrestlers wear. Water wings is what Seth Rollins wears for WrestleMania. That's the
I'd love that. Like Randy Orton's pose.
Water wings.
Water wings. Main event time.
Should we get them for the April?
Yes.
Podcast.
Yeah. Branded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll put sale purple and gold ones.
So it was Solo Sikoa, the United States champion, and JC Mateo versus Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu. Solo wants nothing to do with Jacob Fatu early on. JC, you take it from here. But he does come in when Jimmy Uso is subsequently beaten down enough to come in, beat him up, and then do the dance to Jacob Fatu to take us to a break.
It's ideal that of all these, I'm taking the piss out of the mannerisms ones. His best one is the Jacob Fatu one, isn't it? It's
spot on.
It feels like it's peaking. This thing
I think I want Solo Sikoa to have the CM Punk spot.
I was thinking Punk.
Eliminate someone, do their thing. Who's next? Go on, dickhead.
Just mocks one after another. Yeah,
you're ruining this. Anyway, Mateo comes in, hits Uso with a standing moonsault, but eventually Uso hits a Samoan drop, gets the hot tag to Fatu. And he just runs wild, beats up Solo, splash in the corner, headbutts, spinning elbow, hits both JC Mateo and Solo with super kicks. They're down in both corners, smashes them with hip attacks. Jacob and Jimmy fly through the ropes that takes out both of them. As they get back in, Solo hits Fatu with a super kick, goes for the Samoan spike, but Fatu's having none of that. Counters that with the Impaler DDT and pins the United States champion with his jumping moonsault to get the 1, 2, 3. Fatu's like, I've not had enough yet. He really ruined my night. So he clears the commentary table, kicks Solo onto it, heads up top, but he's intercepted by the newest member of Solo's family tree. Talatonga, who's huge.
It's MFT, please, not SFT. This is like when you see those fake KFCs in town.
Yes.
And there's somebody who's done the whole alphabet.
I can't say because it's not mine.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually, yeah. The MFTs.
Yes, the MFTs.
Is that
the newest member of the MFTs.
That's a good point, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Talatonga slams Fatu down. Tongaloa's there, nails everything. Good. He hit
this is Mark.
Didn't he hit like a twisting neck
Yeah.
breaker or something off the ring? There's a super kick in there as well. Mateo hit a tour of the islands on Jimmy Uso. And then Sikoa hits Jacob with a Samoan spike. And then they do the Shield triple powerbomb with Talatonga being the Roman character in all this through the announce table, destroying Jacob Fatu. A great ending to the show.
Yeah, a lot to like about this. Really, really intelligent matchmaking to put Jacob Fatu with 3 useless wrestlers for the express purpose of making them look class. Because this was mostly a bad match until Jacob Fatu.
When's Jacob Fatu going to get in
like,
there?
That's next level thinking for the old King of Kings, the game Triple H, because like, well, they're terrible. They're rubbish. And then when he gets in there, just absolute house of fire. So that's fine by me. And then, yeah, like an effective beatdown there. Just, again, it's this thing with the MFTs. What we like about them fundamentally is that they are rubbish, but you have to walk a bit of a line with that where, like, well, how are they not rubbish? Because look, 2-on-2 or in a straight up situation, Solo's knackered and he's pinned first night. Jacob is better. They are not hiding from the fact that Jacob is better. What's the only thing that Solo's got is a ridiculously cocky attitude and numbers. That's all he's got going for him, right? So right now they're standing him in good stead. Jacob is, again, as we talked about, there is an attempt here to add a bit of depth and a bit of thought to the Jacob Fatu character of understanding his approach play. Mm-hmm. So, like, he's for the first time realizing, right, if I'm battering him at the start of the show, I'm going to fall afoul of the GM, can't remember his name. But if the GM allows me to have a match and I get a partner, that's the way I've got to do business. So that's like a bit of a growth stage for him.
Yeah.
But then the partner isn't enough because it's 4-on-2. Now, at very least, we can make that 4-on-3 with Jay. Could make it 4-on-4 with Roman if you just fancy doing that as a bit of a big party match, but it probably puts the MFTs back in the mud again. But at very least, you build to that 6-man with both Usos, and then you build to Jacob getting his belt back because they all suck. Right? And fine, that's the route, and I like it.
Yeah, me too. We always said, the Jacob Fatu can lose the title to Solo, but only if he drops it straight back at the next available opportunity. Yeah. But let us know your thoughts on 2 Hours SmackDown in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, you can follow both of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Raw preview is available right now. Collision review coming your way later on today as well. But for now, this has been the SmackDown review where we've talked about Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss teaming up, Fraxium versus Andrade and Rey Fenix. Trish Stratus is back, Drew McIntyre returns, and Solo's family tree destroys Jacob Fatu.
The SmackDown review. It's got all this and Lucha score.
See you soon.